For a while now, we've gotten pretty used to AIs that can think. They can write, they can chat, they can brainstorm with us. But what if they could actually do things? What if they could move beyond that chat window and take real, meaningful action in the world? Okay, let's get into this because that massive shift, well, it's happening right now. And, this quote from Google's developer blog just hits the nail on the head. It gets right to the heart of the problem. You could have the smartest AI on the planet, but if it can't talk to the tools and systems we use every single day, it's like a genius stuck in a soundproof room. Its potential is just fundamentally capped. A great way to think about this limitation is like a glass wall. So on one side, you have the thinking AI that we all know. It's great at conversation, it can process information. But right on the other side of that wall is the doing AI, an agent that can actually manage your projects in Jira, commit code to GitHub, or even process a payment on Stripe. And that wall? That's been the big barrier. Until now. So how do we actually make that leap? How do we break through that glass wall and get from an AI that just thinks to one that truly does? Well, the answer lies in a really specific piece of tech that's been designed for exactly this. And that key is the Agent Development Kit, or ADK for short. This is the tool that basically shatters that glass wall. It's built from the ground up to give AI agents the hands and feet they need to actually operate in our digital world. Okay, so what is it really? Let's break this definition down because the wording here is super important. Open source, that means anyone can use it. Production grade, that tells you it's tough enough for real business applications. But the most crucial part is right at the end. It lets developers build agents that can take action. That's the whole point.
But here's the thing. The ADK by itself is only half the story. Its real power comes from what it connects to. And that's the huge news here. The ADK has just been plugged in to this massive ecosystem of third-party tools, basically opening the floodgates to real-world action.
And when I say it opens the floodgates, I mean the ecosystem has just absolutely exploded. And this is where things go from being kind of interesting to being genuinely transformative for developers and businesses. So, what kind of new superpowers does this actually give an AI agent? Well, first up, the power to interact with developer tools, to manage code, and to automate really complex dev workflows. Next, it can pretty much officially join your team. It gets the ability to understand and interact with project management software. We're talking updating tasks, searching documentation, just like any other human teammate would. And it's not just about doing things, it's about information. These agents can now directly query complex databases. And, this is critical, they can have a persistent, searchable memory to actually learn from what they've done before. Now this is a huge one. For the very first time, these agents can securely handle financial operations. Yeah, we're talking about managing customer subscriptions, creating invoices, and processing payments, all autonomously. And brilliantly, it's not a closed system. The agents can reach out into the wider AI world. They can tap into other models, other datasets, and research papers to make their actions even smarter. So this slide makes it all super concrete. These aren't just abstract ideas. With this new ecosystem, an agent can use GitHub to analyze code and manage pull requests. It can use Atlassian to manage your entire Jira board. It can use Stripe to handle your billing, and it can use Hugging Face to do deep AI research. This is real-world stuff. Okay, so you might be thinking, this sounds incredible, but it must be insanely complicated to implement, right? I mean, connecting an AI to all these powerful platforms sounds like a massive headache. Well, that's the other half of this whole breakthrough. The real magic isn't just what it can do, but how unbelievably accessible it is for developers to actually build with it. And this is the phrase straight from the source that changes everything. All of this incredible new power, all these amazing integrations, they're made available to developers with just a few lines of code. That's what turns this from a cool idea into a practical revolution. And this just shows you how simple it is. The process literally boils down to 3 steps. A developer picks the tool they want, copies a pre-made configuration snippet, and then just adds it to their agent. That's it. The ADK handles all the complex stuff behind the scenes, making it incredibly fast to build and experiment. So now that we get what this is and how it works, let's look ahead a little. What does this really mean for the work we all do? What happens now that these AI agents can be let loose on real-world problems? Let's just ask that question point blank.
We've been talking about individual superpowers, but what happens when you start chaining them together? What kind of complex, autonomous work is actually possible now?
I mean, really think about this for a second. An agent could now, on its own, manage an entire software release, from the moment a ticket is created in Jira all the way to reviewing and merging the final code on GitHub. Or, get this, imagine an agent that can research a new AI model on Hugging Face, draft a full report on its findings in Notion, and then schedule the follow-up meetings for the team. It could even query a database for your sales data, and then use Stripe to automatically generate and send out all the invoices. These aren't single tasks anymore. These are complete end-to-end jobs.
And that leaves us with this final, really crucial question. For the first time, maybe ever, the main limitation isn't what the AI is capable of thinking about, but what we choose to apply it to. Now that AI agents can truly do things in our digital world, the question is no longer if they can help us, but what monumental problems are we going to challenge them to solve next?